Today in economics class, we shall be examining limited liability company. We've treated sole proprietorship as well as a partnership. The next private enterprise is what we call limited liability company. In this topic, we shall be looking at the meaning of company, likewise the meaning of limited liability company, followed by types of limited liability company that we have, as well as the features. After that, we are going to look at advantages and problems associated with a limited liability company. Limited company. Company is an association of individuals who jointly agree to pool their capital together in order to set up and own a business venture distinct from their owners. A company is different from a firm. Example of firm is private sole proprietorship and partnership business. Here they are firm. But when you say a company, it's going to be a venture whereby the owners are separated from the management. The business will stand on its own as artificial human being, while owners also will stand on their own. That will make it to be a company. That is, in company, we cannot match the ownership with the management. We try to isolate it. Limited liability company is an enterprise in which the liabilities of the members are only limited to the amount they contributed towards the formation and management of the business venture. The owners of this business enterprise are called shareholders. So when you say limited liability company, it's totally different from the sole proprietorship we discussed as well as partnership business that we've discussed. In these two businesses, we said they have unlimited liability. That is, their liability are not limited to the amount they brought into the business. But when you say a limited liability, we are talking about an enterprise whereby the liabilities of members are only limited to the amount they've contributed toward the formation of the business. Each and every shareholder in this business cannot lose more than that. Types of limited company. Number one, private limited company. This is the type of limited company which is formed with a specific number of people, with minimum of 2 persons and maximum of 50 members, including employees. The name of such company is ended with the word limited. In private limited company, happen to be a business that is formed among friends, relatives, and so on and so forth. Here, it has a minimum of 2 persons and maximum members, including employees. In this type of limited company, capital is not raised from the general public, but raised among themselves, maybe among the friends, among the relatives. Number two, public limited company. It is a type with minimum number of 7 persons and 0 maximum, which invites public to contribute capital by buying shares. Such company's name is ended with PLC. So when we are talking about public limited liability company, it implies that a company that calls the general public to come and subscribe, that is to buy shares and be one of the investors of that company. And to know this type of company, at the end of the name of the company, you will see PLC, Public Limited Liability, in order to differentiate it from private limited company. Features of limited company. I will explain that we have 2 types of limited company, private limited and public limited company. In terms of ownership, under private limited company, it involves 2 to 50 people. That is, the ownership cannot go beyond 50 members. But if the business wants to go beyond 50 members, it may have to be changed to public limited company. But under public limited company, the ownership starts from 7 members without maximum. The maximum can be trillion if they want to be like that. So that's why we call them shareholders. Number 2, liability. The 2 types enjoy limited liability, either private or public. They cannot lose more than what they've contributed into the business. So that is the only job that they have over sole proprietorship and partnership. Number 3, management. The management of private limited company is in the hand of the owner, either by election or by appointment. But when it comes into public limited company, the board of directors will be elected by the shareholders that will man the organization. Number 4, share transfer. In private limited company, there is nothing like share transfer. You cannot transfer your share from one person to another without the knowledge of the existing shareholder. So for you to transfer your share, you must meet other shareholders. With their knowledge, they can allow you to transfer. But when it comes into public limited company, you don't need to inform anybody before you transfer your share. That is why you see that some people will take their shares to stockbrokers for sales. Number 5, perpetual succession. The perpetual succession in public limited company is very high when you compare with private limited company. What do I mean by this? Public limited company enjoy full perpetual succession. If one management is out today, another one can still be there. A public limited company can stay for life. But when you compare with private limited company, it's not possible. Number 6, legal status. The two types enjoy legal status. They can sue and be sued. I will say that limited company can act as an artificial owner, where the owners stand on their own and the firm or the enterprise stand on its own. So it can sue and be sued. Number 7, objective. Every business enterprise has main objective to be profit making. So the two limited company, the two types of limited company are there in order to make profit, maximum profit, not just profit. Advantages of limited company. Number 1, greater capital base. Limited liability company enjoy this because the number of people involved is so large for them to be able to raise capital whenever they need. But when you compare it with private limited company, it will not be as the one of a public limited company. 2, employment opportunity. As a result of an increase in capital base of limited company, employment opportunity will be created whenever they need. So due to that, limited liability company contribute a lot in the area of employment creation. Number 3, expansion of production. Having increased the capital base and having increased employment in the firm or in the venture, there is possibility of increasing production. No firm will increase production without increasing capital base or employment. So therefore, there is expansion of production in limited liability company as a result of a greater capital base as well as an employment opportunity that will work on this. Number 4, generating more profits and dividends. Having increased production that will lead to output in the economy. This will bring more profit to the organization because of increasing sales. Not only that, the company can still reinvest in another area that will bring more profit for the organization. And at the end of the day, more dividend will be distributed to the shareholders. So with this, limited liability generate more profit than other private enterprises like sole proprietorship and partnership business. Number 5, ownership is separated from management. With the help of separation of management from ownership, it allows the management to carry out their function appropriately without interference from the owners. because if the owners are allowed to interfere, then the management might not be able to put their possible best in order to achieve the objective of the organization. Having isolated the ownership from the management, it will allow the business to move forward. Number 6, continuity. Continuity will exist in limited company when you compare it with sole proprietorship and partnership, because it allows more capital to be raised whenever they need it. It also allows changes in management whenever they desire. So it doesn't mean that they will have a fixed management or fixed board of directors that will be there for life. No, whenever there is a need for a change, owners will decide to change it. So continuity will continue to exist in limited company. But when we compare public and private together, the continuity in public is more than the one of a private limited company. Number 7, transfer of ownership. Here, if you want to give up your shares or your capital, you are free. Even in private limited company, you can do that. It's a matter of meeting other members and you transfer to whoever that is interested without closing the business. Likewise, in public limited company, nobody will observe if someone has dropped either share capital. So due to that, it makes the limited liability company to be moving forward. Unlike a partnership, that once a partner drops, there's possibility of closing such a business. Disadvantages of limited company. Number 1, huge capital involvement. In establishment of limited company, either private limited company or public limited company, it involves large capital for startup. But here, it can be a problem because shareholders cannot just be contributing funds into the organization whenever they call them for. But a situation where the company is in need of more funds and the shareholders have decided not to do that, then it's going to be a problem. Even not only that, in order to establish this, the company must also consult judiciary, that is, going to court before they can do that. So it's going to restrain the company from moving forward as a result of a huge capital involvement. Number 2, lack of flexibility. Once a company is registered as a limited company, it must register with a particular line of business that they want to engage. They are not allowed to change anyhow. If it's going to be banking business, they must not mix it with insurance business, but they are allowed to have subsidiary. So here now, the company cannot change the nature of what they are into. Number 3, payment of large corporate tax. Among all enterprises that we have, limited companies are the ones paying larger corporate taxes to the government, either in their profit or the salary of workers. Even from the dividends too, they also pay tax. This can affect the corporation progress, particularly growth. Number 4, lack of privacy. Limited liability company, particularly public one, is mandated to publish its annual report every 6 months, particularly the first 6 months of the year and the remaining 6 months of the year. So here, there is no secrecy. Everything must be disclosed to the general public. Number 5, delay in decision making and policy making. In public limited liability company, before any decision can be made, all the shareholders must be called forward and decide if they should go ahead or not, even if they need to make decision as early as possible. So far, shareholders are involved. The management cannot make decisions on behalf of the shareholder. All the shareholders must be available. Or if all the shareholders are not there, but majority will carry the vote. So what we are saying here is that there is a delay in decision making in limited company because the owners must be involved before the management can finalize anything. Question 1. A limited liability company is owned by A. An individual, B. 2 or more partners, C. Shareholders, D. Government, E. A bank. The right answer is C. Shareholders. Question 2. Who controls a limited liability company? A. The general manager, B. The managing director, C. The owners of 51% of the shares, D. The board of directors, E. The government. The right answer is D. The board of directors. Question 3. A firm is said to be a public joint stock company when it is A. is owned by the government, B. is operated as public corporation, C. is operated in a non-democratic fashion, D. sells shares to members of the public and publishes its accounts, E. is a limited company. The right answer is D. sells shares to members of the public and publishes its accounts. Question 4. In a public company, entrepreneurial functions are performed by the A. workers, B. shareholders, C. general manager, D. board of directors. The right answer is D. board of directors.